New rules in Ontario may mean fewer cottage rentals in the future. Several townships in Ontario's popular cottage country areas have brought in new licensing rules for short-term rentals with fees and limits and complex administrative process. And some cottage owners say these new rules make it too complicated and costly to list their properties for rent. So joining us for a look at how it's affecting his business is JT Lowe's, owner of All Season Cottage Rentals in Haliburton, Ontario. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
First of all, how are these new rules affecting you?
It's had a big impact. Our inventory of cottages has reduced by a little over 50% this year. So we've lost just over half of our owners. And it's a trend we're seeing across the market up here.
And what are they saying to you about why they've pulled their listings?
Most of them have pulled strictly expressly because of the short-term rental bylaw, combination of costs and just complexity of the program.
Municipalities say they put in these rules to enforce building regulations, fire codes, and other aspects mostly to do with safety. What do you think of that?
I think it's a good idea. There is, good parts of the bylaw. I'm not against short-term rental licensing. There are some good aspects to that, especially for controlling problem properties and giving municipalities a mechanism to kind of get those problem properties out of the market. But the devil's in the details, and just it's too expensive when you add up the cost of licensing and additional fees that go along with it, and an overly complex process to apply for a license.
For people who don't have a cottage that they rent out, what is a problem property?
A problem property would be a 3-bedroom cottage where the owner allows 16 people in, it's 20-year-olds having a party, music all night, right. Issues such as that.
Cottage rentals in Haliburton, I understand, are listed on Airbnb anywhere from around $200 to $500 a night. The fee, I understand, is $500. The municipal fee is $500. So is it the new fees that are too prohibitive, or is it something more?
It is. The initial fee is $500 for a license. There's other additional fees. For example, if you don't own your shore allowance, there's another $750 annual fee and extra insurance you have to acquire. What I'm finding is the investment owners on Airbnb are still renting. It's a palatable cost. They spread over dozens and dozens of bookings. The most impacted are families that only rent a handful of weeks each year to, pay for upgrades to the cottage, new docks, decks, that kind of thing.
Has the municipality of Haliburton said how they're going to monitor these new rules? I know they've put them in place and they put in the fees, but are they actually going to monitor them?
Well, and that's the big question. There's bylaws out there currently before the licensing program came into place to deal with 99% of the issues. The problem is they're not being enforced. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question on how well they'll be able to enforce these new rules.
So you are living in the middle of this. You're hearing from cottage owners. You're watching inventory go down by, I think you said 50%. What's the solution, in your opinion?
I think the solution is just for municipalities to work with professionals such as us to shape and mold the bylaw into something that both achieves their goals and at the same time is palatable by cottage owners.
JT Lowe's, owner of All Season Cottage Rentals in Haliburton. Thanks for coming on this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great week. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.